We had frozen egg discs that we were supposed to heat in the oven. I say egg, but really it was more of a frozen circle of egg whites with a yellow piece in the middle, that may or may not be missing depending on luck of the draw. This one guy would come in every shift I had and order just the egg circle, but didn't want us to heat it up. We handed him hard, frozen, disgusting looking, discs that sounded like rocks when banged against the counter, covered in ice flakes. He barely spoke English, so the first time he showed up we were very confused to say the least. But once we understood he was very happy with his egg hockey pucks. This is definitely the most unique one I've read so far. What a weird eating habit. I bet this guy was taking them home or to work and bought them frozen to heat up later. Yeah, sadly no. We saw him grab a fork and eat them like they were. It was the sort of thing you can't tear your eyes away from, just from sheer horror. Was getting breakfast at this place called the Great Canadian Bagel Company. The girl ahead of us gets a breakfast sandwich with extra mayo and then says, like a serious amount of mayo, more than you think is comfortable. The guy does a solid 4 servings and she shakes her head in disgust/shame and is like, no. I'm actually messed up, I need more mayo. Took everything in me not to laugh as it happened. At least she knew she had a problem. Her feeling her own diagnosed shame about it was quite an experience to see. This is how I ask for things too. I would like extra blue cheese with my wings. When I say extra I would like a lot. Like, an irresponsible amount of blue cheese. I one time asked for a little more mayo, normal amount, at Subway and the person making my food was like more? Mayo is nasty. And I was about 16 so embarrassed. So props to this girl for owning it. I worked at Subway many years ago. There was a couple that would come in semi-regularly and she wanted just a double helping of American cheese on white bread. No veggies, no condiments. Just cheese. I never charged her for the extra cheese since I figured the veggies she wasn't getting offset it. Eventually she started asking for more and more cheese until it was easily 10x what came on it. She must have been bummed when I quit. That cheese sandwich probably would have cost about $10 if someone who gave a shit rang it up. I was at a Subway last month and waited in line behind an older guy who ordered 2 of that exact cheese sandwich. Not even toasted. Just cold cheese on plain bread. The sandwich artist looked confused and kept asking if he was sure and the guy kept saying yes that's what she wants, I'm sorry. Lol, blame it on someone non-existent. Sounds about right. What can I get for you? I'll get a 6-inch honey wheat, just condiments. Just condiments? Just condiments. All of them, if you don't mind. That day ruled. Used to have a guy come in regularly to order a foot long on white, double mayo, salt, pepper. He then sat in the lobby and ate the whole thing. That's actually one of the more reasonable ones on this post-emo. It's okay to eat bread with just butter. Why not mayo? Granted, as much as I adore mayo, I can't imagine eating a sandwich with only mayo. When I was in high school, there was a girl in one of my classes who had the same snack every day from the CAF, plain bagel, lightly toasted, heavy butter, mayo, and salt and pepper. I tried it once and it was ridiculously good. Not a worker, but a Grubhub driver. Someone ordered a meatball sub from Subway that had nothing on it but meatballs, the sauce, and about 4 times as much mayonnaise as would go on a regular sandwich. That was it. He made 2 orders for the same thing within 2 hours, and I delivered them both. Edit, he wasn't high and it wasn't a mistake. He said his sister tried it and liked it so much that they split it and had to order another one. According to the Subway worker, he would order the same thing 2 or 3 times a week. Edit 2, there's been a pretty good split down thread as to whether this is delicious or disgusting and it's made me curious. I'm about to head out for dinner and there's a Subway nearby. I think I'll get a small 6-inch sub with nothing but meatballs and mayo and report back on how it is. Went into Subway and told the lady working there that this was an experiment to satisfy my curiosity, and got a toasted meatball sub with nothing on it but the meatballs, some marinara, and double mayo. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't that good either. I was surprised a bit that it wasn't instantly abhorrent. The worst part by far was the texture, just slime on slime on slime, and the bread fell apart from it almost instantly. I will say that when the marinara and the mayo were mixed, it created something kind of similar in taste to a Thousand Island dressing but not as tart. Not bad, but then you would get a glop of mayo by itself, and that was a bad time. There was just way too much of it. I did manage to soldier through the entire thing. Conclusions: if the mayo and marinara were properly mixed together, it would actually be a fairly tasty sauce. Maybe brushing mayo on the bread before toasting it to sear it into the bun would work. But it was good enough to where I think the next time I get a meatball sub, and I do get it with spinach, onions, bell peppers, etc., I might ask them to throw a light line of mayonnaise in there. As described and pictured though, no. That was not a pleasant experience. Oh God, you guys can see what we order? We do. It's either to verify that everything is in an order or it's because at certain restaurants we have to place the order with a company credit card. Edit: since people are replying down below, I wanted to mention that company policy for Grubhub, DoorDash, Uber, etc. is that drivers are not allowed to open sealed bags. We can ask the restaurant to open the bags and containers to check, but we're not allowed to do it ourselves. If there's something obviously missing like a drink, that's one thing, but we have no idea if the thing in the styrofoam container is what you ordered or not unless the waiter/waitress who brings us the food physically opens it. Worked at a small town subway for 5 years in high school and university. We had this guy come in that we called the Mountain. He was at least 300 pounds and probably 6 feet 5 inches. He always came in wearing full fleece camo outfit. Anywho, his order would always be the same, which is why I remember it so well. The guy would get a footlong with the barbecue rib patty, the most disgusting thing on the menu, and the veggie patty, the second most disgusting thing on the menu. He would also get quadruple extra bacon, the same amount as a footlong BLT with double meat. In addition to all the meat, he would get regular amounts of every cheese. Just to recap, at this point he has enough meat for 4 footlongs, and enough cheese for 4. On one goddamn footlong. Now, here's where it gets good. This dude wouldn't get any veggies. He would ask for just salt, not salt and pepper, just salt. And the cherry on top, he would say don't bother cutting it in half. Just gonna start at one end and stop at the other. Edit: the veggie patty isn't really disgusting as most of you have pointed out. Every meat there is processed anyway, so it probably wasn't appropriate for me to label it as the second most disgusting. However, the barbecue probably is. The box it is delivered in is labeled, boneless barbecue rib-shaped pork burger. I don't remember the exact wording, but all of those words were included in the title. I worked at a Subway a long time ago and a guy would order 2 full bags of lettuce on his sandwich every day. Imagine 2 pounds of lettuce on some bread. He would order often enough that I knew to go in the back and grab 2 full bags just for him. Did he eat it there? Sounds like he found a low-key way to get Subway to give him prepped lettuce on the cheap. Haha, I never did see him eat it there. I work in the factory that makes the bags of lettuce for Subway. Trust me, there was plenty of protein in those 2 bags of lettuce.